broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. I'm Jen Gaudet, your fearless host, entrepreneur, investor, and business strategist. Why are we here? Because I believe that iron sharpens iron. And when we bring successful entrepreneurs and investors into the room, and we talk about what's working in business, and maybe even some of what's not, what we all do is elevate our game. We learn, we grow, our businesses grow. And the ripple effect impacts not only ourselves, our teams, and our families, but also our communities and our world. You are in for a treat today because I have an especially special guest today, super extra special, all the way in. She flew in to talk about sex and business. Yes, you heard us right. I am here with Jessica Preston of DeNova Fertility. She is a founder, and sex is your business. That is something that comes up a lot, Jessica. Entrepreneurs are like, what do we talk about? How do we have our separation? How do we get that romantic time in when we're so busy with business? And I know you're the person, you know, inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, so I know we've been talking about sex and business, and sex being our business. We're working in fertility. And so when we work with our couples, everybody is struggling with trying to figure out exactly how to fit sex into their busy lives when they're trying to conceive. And now we're talking about in business when we're not trying to conceive. And it is definitely a challenge when you are very busy.
And so give us the goods. Like, we're entrepreneurs, we're in business. We want to have a new life brought into our relationship on the personal side, but we just can't figure a way to schedule those date nights in, and we just don't feel like, you know, it's working or we're firing on all our cylinders. How do you help clients? Like, what are the ways that you're able to create that space, create that romantic feeling so that we can relax into who we are on the personal side?
Exactly. So it's both with fertility and not, as we said. So for business, for anyone, we start with communication with our partner. So the first thing we have to see is, where are we? What is our time? And I think where we can go wrong is we say, okay, Friday, it's Friday. And then we all plan for Friday evening, or no. Then something comes up. I have to work late. You have to work late. We have a deadline. Saturday is for sure on Saturday. And I think what we need to do is step back and really address the elephant in the room. We have to talk about what is happening right now in our lives, and we're busy, and how can we have these little tiny bits of intimacy together so that we can start building that foundation so we can get to that date night and really establish that time as sacred for ourselves.
And you know, I think there's a lot of pressure that comes on when we time block it in. It is not sexy, guys, when we say, okay, our date night is from 7 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday night, and that's what's happening. It's not sexy. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel fun. And it kind of almost puts some undue unnatural pressure on you. So how do we shift that mindset?
Yeah, so communication first. So really having that intimate communication. We teach a lot of nonviolent communication and something called imago dialogue, or you hear of neurolinguistic programming. All of this conversation where when we speak with someone, what happens when we're all so busy is we can feel triggered in a sense when our partner says, I need more of you. Mm-hmm. Our partner can then feel like you're saying, you aren't giving me something, mm-hmm. where what we're saying is, I need to get my own needs met, and where can we meet in the middle? And so really having a good communication style where we can say, if you can hear me, these are the things that I'm looking for and that I'm needing, and I'm sad because I don't have them. Not, you aren't giving them to me, but I'm not having them, so how can we meet? How can we connect? And then the other person can reflect back that I hear what you are saying, and reflect back what it is, and understand that we're not trying to trigger each other or say you're not meeting my needs, but to say how can we meet in the middle. And when we have that communication and we really connect as a team, as a partnership, then we're working together to find those spaces in our lives where we can truly connect intimately.
And so you're bringing up concepts that we talk about a lot on the show, because whether we're talking about our personal relationships or our business relationship, communication is the number one key factor. So if we are communicating well in our personal life, that seems like it naturally is going to flow over into business as well. So how do you link this for people who are blowing and going, they've got so much going on, and they're having these communication issues in their business as well? Is there some sort of a way that they can bring this all in full circle?
Right. So our belief is as within, so without. That's within ourselves and within our company, within our personal lives. So it is a reflection of all of the same types of communication. They're not actually different. The way that you and I can communicate, the way that you can communicate with your husband, that actually is exactly the same type of communication that you can have with people in business. It's the same formula. It's just not the same topic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, give us an example. This is getting juicy.
Oh.
I want to hear an example. Give me a conflict between two partners. You said you're going to do this A, B, and C. I said I was going to do X, Y, and Z, and C didn't get met.
No, when you say partner, are you talking business or personal?
Business
partner.
Business.
I'm very fortunate to have an amazing team where we don't have a lot of that. I'm struggling. We really do this base communication that is so solidly together. I have one of my teammates that has come to me and one of the things that we say is, are you open? Are you open is a beautiful way to say, I have something to say. It's about me, not about you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we've set that stage already. And then we know something's coming, right? But it's not, hey, do you have time to talk about this thing? We don't know what it is, and so we're just worried all day that we might be getting fired or we might be getting in trouble for something. And are you open is a nice, gentle way to open that. And I have a team member who came to me and said basically that I was not meeting their needs in follow-up and expressing my appreciation for what they were doing in work. And that is something that's very important for all of us in work and home too, but we really need to know, especially our core team, how we are appreciated and how we are appreciating each other. And that's one of those, I took that, I can take that. And then we talk next about how can I meet those goals better for you. And when you have all of that communication, whether it's within your business or within your household, you aren't anxiously awaiting, what's going to be coming next out of that person's mouth.
Or the shoe to drop.
The shoe to drop. You're basically in the same space of how are we going to connect and make this work together, because we all are here for the common goal of making the business work, but really making it a good, cohesive team.
I love that. And one of the things that, and I'm gonna bring it to the personal now, because one of the things that has been so key, I find, I work with business owners in their business. And it always comes back, well, this is what's happening in my personal life. I'm not able to do this. I don't understand how to do this when my emotions are involved. Because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't take our emotions off the table, but we're able to push through things that when it's our spouse or a family member, it's a little bit harder. Those lines are a little bit more blurry for a lot of people. And so a lot of times they come to me and they're like, this is not happening for me at home. And I don't know how to bring it up without it causing conflict. And so how do we then take it as entrepreneurs to the home when we are working on it in business? And I'm not necessarily talking about sex per se, but any kind of conflict that's happening on a more personal level, because we're more emotionally involved.
I think taking exactly what we're talking about for the people that we are speaking with today and say, I heard this wonderful thing today about how to communicate. Open that door for communication. A lot of people haven't heard of this type of communication. And so if we go home and say, wow, this group came in and they talked to us about communication styles and it applies to work, but it really can apply at home. Are you willing to give this a try? I think most of us are willing to give it a try. So that's what I would probably recommend doing.
Awesome. I love it. Open the conversation. It's all about me. This is how I'm feeling. It is not necessarily anything to do with you, but this is what I need met. How can we come up with a solution?
Right.
Something that I want to get I have this curiosity. One of the things that I personally use is in personal relationships, how can I love you more? How can I love you more? How can what can I do different so that you feel loved and appreciated? And that has been really game changer for me in my personal communication. Is that a tool, and how do we adapt that tool to work?
I love that. How can I love you more is great. I love also what one thing can I do to help you today? You know, one thing can I do to help you today, especially when your partner sees that you might be struggling and they don't know what to do. We don't know what to do for our partner, and we don't know what to do a lot in business as well. I mean, we all have our segments of what we are responsible for, and if we see someone is incredibly busy and we are not, we are really trying to be helpful in that space. What is the one thing I can do to make your life easier today? It's easier for the other person to then think about, what is that one thing? What is that one thing? Because when we say something broad like, how can I love you better, which I still love. I've used that and I love that one as well. But then it's, I think our partner or our person in business would say, what one, you know, or what can I do? I don't know what you can do. It's hard to come up with a list, especially when we are overwhelmed in our entrepreneurial space. When we have so many things on our plate and someone says, how can I be helpful to you? How can I help? I think most of us, or a lot of us, say, I have no idea what you can do to help me. So what is that one thing I can do? Or if you have enough insight into what that other person is doing, make a suggestion.
I love it. So that's an action step and a writer down right there. So if you're having overwhelm, or if someone in your business is having overwhelm, what is the one thing I can do to help you with now, or offering a suggestion if you have that? I think that's absolute gold. We do have to take a brief break, unfortunately. I am loving this conversation already. You are going to want to stick around because I'm sure there is so much more awesomeness to come. We'll be back after these messages.